I'm glad everybody was able to come and join us today in this event. It would have been possible with Arianna Radio Club and obviously the three fellow students we have here today that are going to share their experience with you guys. It's very, very interesting, and I know people who maybe are not interested in entrepreneurship, or maybe they are. I hope their stories would actually help you and motivate you, have questions to ask, interact. That's why we're having this event today. And I hope everyone is going to enjoy it just as much as I am. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Arianna. Before I introduce and pass the mic to the lovely panelists, I'll just speak a bit about myself. I'm a junior here at St. Francis, majoring in economics and political science. On the side, I run a website, Uncover More, which highlights fitness, travel, wellness, aesthetically pleasing cafes, and different things to do in and around the city and through my travels. I recently expanded into another Instagram account at Signs of the Streets, featuring chalkboards of New York City. So I'm always looking for something new to do and hope to expand. I'm going to pass the mic, and I would like each of you to please introduce yourselves and really explain what inspired you to start your business.
So my name is Sydney Bell. I am the CEO and founder of Sydney Bell Photography, which is a natural light photography business established in November of 2013 in Houston, Texas. So I'm an out-of-state student. And what really inspired the business is kind of myself. I was, again, I'm from Texas. I went to a school with predominantly a Caucasian group of students. So I was the only African-American cheerleader. I was the only plus-size cheerleader. So at that time in my life, I didn't feel beautiful. And I felt like there needed to be a business or a person to kind of help young women feel that way. And so I started up Sydney Bell Photography. So that's the inspiration of where the business came from.
Hello, my name is Fallon Raimo. I am a senior at St. Francis. I'll be graduating in May, hopefully. My business is Infamous Vigilante, and what I do is I create clothes. What inspired me to start this business was going through struggles that I've had in my life. My sister passed away when I was little, and basically what I try to do is democratize fashion and make it something that's for everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Josh Dezil. I'm a freshman. I major in business management. I'm the CEO of Jdbundles, and I sell hair extensions for women. And what inspired me was, at the time, I started this last February, so a year ago, a lot of women I knew were wearing weave, and it was a business a lot of men weren't into. So I decided, like, why not? And my best friend, she gave me the vendor, and we made it happen. We put the business together.
Thank you. I think that those topics are really fitting for International Women's Day. So topics that we've seen is diversity, overcoming struggles, and really finding a market that has not been tapped into. So when did you guys receive that aha moment that you really had a good idea?
So my business actually started in my backyard. I just had a few girlfriends come over and we had a photo shoot. We all did our hair and makeup and just went outside and started taking pictures. And so that aha moment that this was something that I wanted to continue doing and that was really my passion is when my client or the girls that I was taking pictures of, when they received a photo and they give me their feedback and they say, wow, this was such a great experience. I feel beautiful about myself. I have this confidence that I didn't have before. That is what touched my heart and is something that just that motivates me to keep going and keep allowing young girls to feel this way.
My aha moment was probably when I was wearing a piece of clothing that I had made myself, and someone asked me where I got it, and I told them I made it myself. And for me, it was more of a why can't I do this? People buy clothes that other people make all the time, and I think that I do something different. So I decided to start my own brand.
Believe it or not, I think my aha moment was about 5 months into starting a business, because at first it was slow for me. So the first 5 months, I really had like about 2 customers. And then I met this one lady over the summer. She's a famous makeup artist, and she loved my hair, and she brought me more customers. So I was like, this is really something for me and a business that I love. So in the beginning, it was kind of slow, so I really didn't think it was a good idea or it was for me.
Thank you. I think an important part about those aha moments, as you said, is really believing in yourself and finding other people and knowing that you're able to do what you were meant to do and to find what you're meant to do. Yeah.
Just kind of relating to what you were just saying, I was thinking about stuff to say earlier, and I feel like we can all relate to this. Like when we started our business, it was something that we like had some type of passion or interest in, or that we felt like we could help others with. So I feel like when starting a business, just make sure or know that it's something that you love and it's something that you're willing to carry on in your life, because a lot of, on Instagram you'll see businesses that start up a good 2 or 3 weeks and then you don't see anything else. And so passion, dedication, and just knowing that it's something that you're interested in when starting up, I think is a good idea.
Definitely. It looks like you have to add something. No? But I think like what Josh said, that sometimes you're not going to find it on that first day. Sometimes it's going to be 5 months in, and when someone else relies on you and when someone else believes in you and inspires you, that's when you'll find your aha moment. Elaborating on that, how do you guys set yourself apart from others who have similar business ventures, and what is your value proposition?
In photography, I can't even name the amount of businesses that there are, but what sets my business apart from other photography businesses is the experience. I don't just go out and take a picture of people, give them back their picture, and say, I hope you enjoy it. It's an experience, so I make my client feel like kind of like a celebrity during the day. They'll come over, get their hair and makeup done, a full glam session. We'll go out on the photo shoot. There will be a hype squad with them to come out and just help with poses, again, making them feel like a celebrity. And then after, what's special is I'll do a viewing session. So they'll be able to come over, view their photos, give me their feedback so I can know what to improve with the business. And that way they really feel like they're like cared about and appreciated during their shoot. So just offering an experience instead of just a product is kind of what sets me apart.
What sets me apart is every piece of clothing that we make besides our graphic t-shirts. So we do custom pieces, and they're all hand done. A lot of time and effort go into making sure that the quality of clothes you're getting is not something you're going to find at Macy's. It is really important to us to show that, like, my logo is a heart, and a lot of heart goes into the clothes, and when you're wearing my clothes, I want your heart to be shown. Like, I want you to feel different in my clothes. So that's what sets me apart.
I think what sets me apart is my approach. Like, me being a man in a female, like, predominantly business, my approach is something I definitely like rely on. So I try to build trust immediately with a female when speaking to her, because as you know, like, women are very picky with their hair, and there's a lot of competitors in this business between like beauty supply stores or selling wigs and everything else. So I try to create that trust, and I feel like if I feel like they don't need the hair, I would tell them, and that's like my way of gaining trust with them. So they'd be like, okay, he's not trying to get me for my money, he really cares and thinks about me. So I think that's what sets me different.
You. I mean, all those things that you're talking about, experience, quality of product, building trust, those come with time, but they also, you connect with your customer, you connect with the person that you're really interacting with, or that target audience that you want. And that's also something that's not built over day. I'm sure that you guys have had to build a clientele, build a following on Instagram, or build people who will see your brand and recognize it. So that's kudos to you. But how do you balance doing all that, running a business, while still being full-time students, or working part-time, or still being involved and still having a social life and trying to tap all those aspects? Sydney?
I feel like I don't really do a good job of balancing my social life and my academic life and my business life. But for me, again, with photography being a passion, it's something that kind of calms me down and is also a hobby. So if I'm not busy with doing school and everything else that comes with that. That's mainly where my time for photography is. But again, with the business also being seasonal and where I get a majority of my bookings during the summer, I have a lot more free time to dedicate to that side of my life. But it's really hard, and so I feel like just when you find those special moments where you can put all of your time and attention into your business or what you love, that's kind of how I try to manage it.
It is extremely hard for me to balance school and work and my business and my social life, because what I care about most is my social life and my business. So when it comes to school, like, that's what I have to care about right now. So it's hard to balance it out, and I'm the worst with time management, so it doesn't go too well for me. But
it's not really hard for me. I think I created the perfect balance. I took mostly morning classes, so like in the afternoon I have time like to do my deliveries for my business, because I don't have a delivery person, so I do it myself. So I handle that in the afternoon, and then at night I take care of like whatever schoolwork or assignments I have and everything. So I always make sure the business is running properly and make sure I don't fall off in school. So I think I created the perfect balance between the two.
I mean, it's definitely important to create that perfect balance, but it's also important, like you said, to prioritize what you want. You know, sometimes you wake up and it's your business. You know, sometimes it's like that midterm that you have at 2 p.m. and you're like, maybe that order can go tomorrow. You know, I know for my account, I rely heavily on Instagram to gain following and gain traction to my website. So sometimes it's prioritizing one thing over another. So what are the next steps that you guys are going to take to expand your business, and where do you see yourself and your business in 5 years?
So recently, about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I started a separate branch from Sydney Bell Photography called Through Youth's Vision. So it's a creative brand of Sydney Bell Photography. So I'm hoping to grow that as large as it is, as Sydney Bell Photography is, and kind of expand to more of the artsier audience. Or, you know, I noticed since I've moved back and forth from Houston to New York has more of a grungy feel to it, so I'm trying to grow that and make that business more well known. And in the next couple of years, hopefully I'll start moving into larger events instead of just portrait photography. I've learned to love event photography, so I'll probably come and ask you a few things about that. But yeah.
For my brand and for the future, I definitely want to build a bigger clientele, a bigger following. I mean, 5 years isn't too much time for a business. So I would like to be, right now we're like strictly on the East Coast, not strictly, but you know, it's easier to reach like your areas. So I would like to be like national and all over the country. Definitely, I went to LA last summer and definitely put myself out there. So just branching out and becoming a bigger brand is my goal.
Yeah, I think the same for me, like branching out, becoming a bigger brand. But my next steps to become bigger is I'm trying to add like a lash brand also to my hair business, and like also selling wigs, because I know that'll make me different from the other hair shops, bundle shops that are around. And in 5 years, I hope to have a full like glam shop where like ladies could come get their hair done, makeup done, feet done, nails done, and everything. So I think that'll be major, because you don't see that around here a lot. So I think that'll help me get an extra step ahead of everyone else.
So I have one more bonus question because it's International Women's Day. Who's one female or multiple females in your life that really inspire you and really make you want to keep doing what you do? It could be anyone.
I'm going to go lame for this, but my mom. My mom With being away from home, it's been like really, really hard because I have been like sheltered basically my whole life with someone just constantly pushing me to be my best. And then moving here and not having really anyone to be there to push me and guide me. She's definitely someone that motivates me and inspires me. And so every morning she tells me if I feel discouraged or if I'm like, Mom, I have a mental block, I don't know what series I should do next. She just says, put one foot on the ground and God will do the rest. And so just those little words that she gives me and seeing how she's, brought my brother and I up and her different work experiences and just all of the things that she does really inspires me just to be a better person and to not stop striving to be the best that I can be.
My mom, definitely. My mom was an art director for department stores, so she kind of showed me the way when it comes to fashion and style, and she's the strongest person I know. She raised four women, so she's a tough cookie, and she's my my toughest critic. And obviously, my oldest sister inspires me every day to become what I'm supposed to be, which is a designer. So I definitely have a lot of strong women in my life, and I'm totally blessed for that.
Believe it or not, I have 3 older sisters, but I think the person that pushes me the most and keeps me going is my best friend, Ashley. She actually gave me the hair vendor for my company, and every day she's telling me, like, keep going, and she's constantly giving me new ideas as far as the business and, like, from a female's point of view, like, what to do next and what should I do, what should I take out and everything. So I think she really keeps me going and pushing and everything. I thank her for that.
I hope we all find our own Ashley. But I think that you guys all touched upon something really important. You guys wouldn't have the businesses you have today, wouldn't be overcoming different diversity struggles or really finding your place in the world without people who support you. I know I'm really lucky that I have people both in the crowd and on the panel and people in this room who support me day in and day out, and it wouldn't be the same without it. I'm going to open up the floor for questions. Does anyone have any questions for anyone? Yeah, Zoe?
Hey y'all. I guess my question for y'all is like, how do you promote yourself? Like, I'm wanting to start a blog myself, and I know like that's gonna be a struggle for me using social media because social media is really not my thing. However, I know in order for me to progress and grow, I need to like use the social media. So, yeah.
So most of what my business is social media. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, social media is the next step. How I target myself is in what I do, a lot of what I do is on Instagram. So you really have to find that target audience that you want. My target audience is really people who really love to explore, who love to find new things, find new places to go. So when creating an Instagram account and commenting on people's pictures or really posting certain things, I make sure that I'm targeting that audience. When promoting myself day in and day out, I just always talk about it. Like, ask anyone. Like, I'll bring up Uncover More into anything. Like I'll be going to a coffee shop and be like, oh, Uncover More, like, this will be great. So it's really just believing in yourself and promoting yourself, and then soon enough, like, your friends will be promoting you. You know, Sydney always tells me, she's like, I was bored this weekend, so I went on to Uncover More and found things to do. And I told my friend about it, and that's how they're now following it. So it's really believing in yourself, talking about yourself over and over and over again, and then soon enough, when people are going to get sick of you talking about yourself, they're going to start talking about you. It's true, but it's the way to go. In mastering social media, it's really a science. You know, you need to know how to properly use Instagram, whether it's through Instagram tools, how to properly be organized. I have a Google Drive calendar where it has everything, what I'm going to post, when I'm going to post, what hashtags I'm going to use, what people I'm going to talk to. I have to comment on a certain amount of pics per day to really make sure that I'm reaching everyone, talking to different brands, talking to different distributors, etc. Is there anything you guys can add on that?
I have a tool that I use for Instagram as well. Basically, your followers, so when you start off with an Instagram, your followers are people that you know. So family, friends, whatever. So what I do is I do something called a model call, which is where I'll ask for models from around the city, different parts of the city, and then basically I offer them free pictures. All they have to do is pay for makeup, and I outsource a makeup artist. So they get their free prints, they get their free digital copies, and then they post it on their Instagram. But part of being a model is you have to tag Sydney Bell Photography. And once they tag Sydney Bell Photography, all of their followers are able to see who took their picture, and then they start to follow the account. So if it's blogging, you know, you can get some of your friends that have good followings or like, you know, diverse followings, and then just say, hey, can you put my blog on your story, and then tag you, and then they'll directly be directed to that. So I think reaching out to different parts of or different markets and, you know, different groups of people can definitely help get more exposure.
One of the most important things that anyone's ever told me is that you yourself are a brand. And I definitely work on my own personal brand, which then helps me with my business. And, you know, you want to, I guess, have a certain aesthetic that's going to present your brand. And my own personal Instagram is very, like, so I guess the point is that social media is important. And you can't, like, it's the wave, you know, and it's free advertising, so do it. It's super important.
I think when promoting your business on social media or your brand or whatever, I think you should know who you're trying to target. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, starting like your Instagram page, like know the people you need to come in contact with. Oh, say I need to follow this person because they know a lot of people that like may help me in my business or get me out there. So like I think knowing your target market really is the biggest thing.
And be consistent. You can't just post once every 2 months or something like that. Make sure you know the optimal time to post and how much to post.
Is anyone any more questions?
Hello. My question is, what has been the most satisfying experience starting up and owning your own brand? Thank you.
I kind of, like, I touched upon that, like, just knowing that when I give a client their picture back, like, when they see themselves, how they feel. And also knowing, like, remembering how I was that little girl that I'm doing a photo shoot of, and how, like, high school, junior high, middle school, that's rough. Those are rough times where girls' self-image can literally be shattered like that. And I know that from personal experience. So just, again, like, knowing that I'm helping somebody in the world, and knowing that that was me, and, like, me being able to pass that over to someone.
For me, the most satisfying moment was honestly the whole journey of starting my brand is completely satisfying. And actually doing it. Like, I always said I was going to do it. I always thought about it since I was a kid in grammar school. And, you know, putting your foot on the gas is, like, so important.
I don't think I have one like satisfying moment. I think every time I sell hair to a female, and you know she sends me like a week later when she installs the hair, and she sends me a picture talking about how she loves the hair. I think every moment like that is a satisfying moment for me. So I just love the business.
We got one more question over here.
How you doing? What type of mindset did you have, like, when you first started a business? Like, before you sold your first hair, before you made your first merchandise, before you sold your first picture, like, just getting ready and planning it out. Like, what type of mindset did you need to have to really start?
I felt like I just told myself, I said, this is going to be great. Like, right when I started my Instagram account and I put my first picture up, I said this is going to be great. And I feel like when entering anything or starting anything, you have to have that mentality. Because I know, for example, like a lot of people will say, well, if you enter in a sporting game and you think you're going to lose, more than likely you're going to play like you're going to lose. So with starting off with that positive mindset and saying this is going to be great, this is going to be good, I just kept remembering, I said this on my first post, got to keep doing it. And that's where persistence again comes in. So yeah.
I definitely agree with Sydney, and also a certain type of mindset you have to have when learning, when owning a business, I guess, is that learn to love rejection and learn to not fear failure, which is like the hardest thing to do. But unfortunately, like there is that, you could fail, but like every moment is a learning experience. So like, are you really failing? I don't know.
I mean, I think telling yourself like you're going to be the best, you're going to be number one in that industry, and like I think you have to be big on self-motivation, really, because owning a business or running a business, you're gonna hit like rough patches, and like you're not gonna really have like a support system, or like the support system you thought you had isn't really gonna back you up. So I think you gotta constantly push yourself and know like I can do this.
So I have one question. So you all deal directly with your consumer, with your customers. If you could share us a difficult customer and how you dealt with them, how you solved the problem.
So I do, again, photography, but mainly portrait photography, which includes family portraits, senior portraits, graduation, all of that stuff. So one day during the holiday break, I had a photo shoot for family portraits. So she said there's going to be 4 people there. So I said, okay, 4 people's great. So I show up to the photo shoot, and there's 11 people there. So if you think about the post-production process of photography, the editing, that's a lot of faces to edit. That's just like a lot. And so first I was like stressed because I knew it would take more than an hour to capture 11 people who wanted individual portraits as well, and small groups. But the client, whatever makes the client happy goes. So I knew that this was going to be a hard task for me, but I just kept with it and just did the shoot with no problem. I didn't even question it. And so yeah, that was probably a really hard client. It's just I don't have like one in particular, but that was like a hard scenario, I guess.
I've never had to deal with a hard client, a difficult client, which I guess is a blessing. But like Sydney said, like the client's always right. And in my own, in my work that I do outside of school, that's what I've learned, is that no matter what, you have to please your customer, because that's who's paying your bills. So.
Hard customer. I think about 2 weeks ago, this girl posted my hair on Facebook, and she tried to bash my brand, telling people do not buy, because a week before that she brought hair, and it was blonde hair. I don't know how many people know about blonde hair. Like, it sheds more than regular, like 1B Peruvian hair. And so she put it in a week before, I guess, started to shed. But at the time she was writing me, like telling me it was shedding, I was in the hospital with my dad, so I couldn't really respond to her. So that Friday came, and she posted a picture, her birthday picture. The hair looked nice, but she bashed the brand saying, don't buy. And she got about 70 shares, like 100 likes, and it was going all over Facebook. But I told myself I wouldn't respond to it, like getting myself involved in like a Facebook war, because I'm a business owner now, so I have to act mature and everything. So I didn't get involved. I had other people report it for me.
Okay, well, my name is Curtis. I'm the vice president of the club, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that came, and thank you to all our entrepreneurs and Arianna for taking the time out of the day to be here and have this event for us. And food is open. Everyone, you're welcome to go and get a plate and talk and socialize.